Who do we got here? Let me see. Steve Running starts the show. Steve Running. And... Steve Running and... Wow. Kepper, Nick, Beaslin Enoch. Really? Billy Bong Thornton? Holy shit, guys. Wow, look at all these people, man. Oh my god. Holy moly.
Prepare yourself.
Hey everybody, we got Cyber, I think.
Prepare yourself.
Line and taker, cashing your chips, you sniveling, whining, self-loathing hypocrite. Blame it on Rio or the woman in red. Don't fool yourself, it's all in your head. You're the mascot of the next century. Look in the mirrors, crowd insecurity. I bleed for you, my eyes burn. My point is no, cause you'll never learn. You'll never learn, I bleed for you. You'll never learn, I bleed for you. You'll never learn, I bleed, I bleed.
Fuck you, fucking Republican! Fuck you!
Fuck you, Michelle Bachmann. Fuck you. Lying and dying. As you read. Bulletin from the mouth of
Fuck
your
you,
own
fucking
feet.
Levi's
Shut up your
Fuck you,
mouth and
Fuck
jerks
you.
and
Fuck you.
self-pity. Sick of your loathsome little
Fuck
dick.
you.
Line and taker, cashing your chips. You sniveling, whining, self-loathing hypocrite. Blame it on Rio or the woman in red.
Levi's clothing company.
It's all in your
Guess what I told them? It starts with an F. Bullshit! Fuck you! 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 Fuck you all motherfuckers! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you, Chef! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you all! Fuck you, motherfuckers!
Hello, Trendies! Trendy Heavy reporting with Cyber Reload in Denmark, and I'm in Orlando, Florida. I'm Trendy Has Dabbers and all things trendy. Home of Trendy Has Dabbers and all things trendy. You can find me at the hashtag Trendies on all forms, social media. But you're really going to watch this on Rumble. Trust me, man. You're watching anywhere else, you're wasting yours and my time, man. And no one else deserves to have you there. So come to Rumble, the only place that gives us free speech, man.
Fucking kill you! If you were here, I'd fucking stick my finger through your fat fucking turkey throat and fuck you! Go fuck yourselves!
Yes. Yes. Get the show that you all deserve by coming to Rumble and supporting over there. It really is the place to be. It really is. Right now, it's the only place to consider watching this show, and it's the only place where I'm going to survive. So make sure you make your way over to Rumble at some point. So glad to see all of you here. That goes for Edwin Sparks, Billy Bong Thornton, of course, Kepper, Hippie Chick, hello. Wow, Nick the Stick. Let's go. God, there's so many of you. Be sure to leave a thumbs up. Yeah, let's, if I remember correctly, we could have the chat read back, right, on this? There was some kind of special way to get the chat read back. No, huh? I thought I saw it, like a way to read the chat out loud, but I don't see that anymore. I don't know what happened to that. Oh, there he is. Thanks for noticing, Token Tony Z, and Token Tony Z, hello.
Hey, bro.
Hey, Cyber. We just started the show.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I made that one more purchase yesterday of crypto because it dropped even further. And I watched it go even lower after that, you know, but not much. And it dropped a little bit, but then it started going up. And then over the last 12 hours, it's gone up, way up. So I don't know where it is right this second, but I'll pull it up. And it's worth talking about. Also, I'm listening to a really good debate, man. Destiny's having a debate. Destiny is totally pro-Israel, and it's just interesting to listen to his side of the argument. And he's talking to this girl about it. And I'm just going to go, and we're 31 minutes into the debate, and we're just going to listen in.
Okay, so then a picture isn't evidence?
But I'm not going to bring the
But Israel never posts propaganda ever, so everything Israel says is 100% fact.
I'm going to bring
Didn't say that, but what they posted is evidence. If you want
35.5 is where Bitcoin is. 35.6
on the evidence, or if you want to discredit the evidence, then discredit the evidence. But as of my understanding, was everything that had been posted, nothing had been disproven so far, and there are
360 since we're just listening to it.
A ton of international journalists that are in the area that are being shown stuff by Israel, that are going through villages and documenting stuff. I haven't heard of any of them challenging the claims of any of the atrocities that Hamas committed when they made the incursion on October 7th. I haven't heard that from anybody yet. So I'm curious where your claims are coming from.
Yes, I will share with you a video. You can watch it on stream. You can look into the claim. That this guy is making and decide if they're false or not. It's a 6 minute.
It's 335.6 now. Here we go. Look at this, guys. Look at what Bitcoin did.
Oh, damn.
Holy shit. And there it goes. On the stream, guys, we're just
video.
pegging.
It's time to break this narrative once
Pegging a
and for
needle,
all.
baby.
New video.
Here, let's, you know, God forbid you watch a fucking video on fucking this bullshit. None of my browsers. It's like I run a browser for 2 days and they get completely choked up. All of them. With fucking data, and then all of a sudden they can't fucking run a video.
That's why I told you should use Opera. There's a fucking function in that browser where you can empty your RAM and how much CPU you want to use to the browser and shit. It's a browser made for fucking streamers and gamers, so I don't know why you don't want to use it.
Because I keep forgetting to get it. That's why.
No, because every time I tell you about it, you say you don't need it. You have other ones. Why should that one be better?
Oh, I like that reason better. I like that's a better reason.
Let's continue to go along. He did show the one video, so okay.
Level of damage. So then how do they
It
destroy
is a good browser, bro. I'm telling you.
Okay, well, I'll use it, man, and I'll use it. Anything that's stopped these fucking videos from doing this bullshit.
like this?
Can't fucking play a goddamn video.
Is they didn't. The Israelis did. What? That is shocking. But why? And how would the Israelis do that? Well, Israeli media has all the answers. They interviewed the IDF soldiers who responded to the Hamas attack, and they learned.
We're citing Gray Zone, so for anybody watching, I wouldn't recommend anything from this website.
Okay, yeah, I know Gray Zone too, and whenever it comes to Israel, man, they are totally biased against Israel. 100%. They will totally lie. So I know he's right about this. He is right about
garbage, but that's okay. He's going to cite this publication as Gray Zone, okay?
Soldiers who responded to the Hamas attack, and they learned something shocking. The IDF was struggling to handle the Hamas fighters. Tuval Eskapa, or however you pronounce his name, a member of the security team for Kibbutz Be'eri, set up a hotline to coordinate between kibbutz residents and the Israeli army. He told the Israeli newspaper Haaretz that as desperation began to set in, the commanders in the field made difficult decisions, including shelling houses on their occupants in...
Okay, let's see.
There's a
How
drop-down link
many
to that browser and do
How many results have been burned alive? Actually,
Oh,
killed by
thanks.
friendly fire. Oh, our good friend Max Blumenthal. Several new testimonies by Israeli witnesses to the October 7th Hamas surprise attacks on southern Israel adds to the growing evidence that the Israeli military killed its own citizens as they fought to neutralize Palestinian gunmen. Tuval Escapa, a member of the security team for Kibbutz Be'er, set up a hotline to coordinate between kibbutz residents and the Israeli army. He told the Israeli newspaper Haaretz that as desperation began to set in, the commanders in the field made difficult decisions, including shelling houses on their occupants in order to eliminate the terrorists along with the hostages. A separate report published in Haaretz noted that the Israeli military was compelled to request an aerial strike against its own facility inside the Frez crossing in Gaza in order to repulse the terrorists. So they can do Israeli woman named confirmed. Hold on, I'm just reading the rest of the article here. The military undoubtedly killed numerous Israeli non-combatants during gun battles with Hamas militants on October 7th. They eliminated everyone, including the hostage, she stated, referring to Israeli special forces. Is there anybody else at all that's corroborating these reports?
Let me look into it further.
Okay.
In order to eliminate the terrorists along.
You want to smoke?
Yeah.
Destiny, this is fake. Haaretz never reported this. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Like by that if you're saying that. Oh shit, hold on.
I also want to ask you, have you noticed like say people like Jackson Hinkle, like that type, like jumping onto this and being like the main source of news throughout this? Have you seen any of that? I was curious
Yeah.
about your take on that.
Yes. What about it?
Like the far right kind of just being opportunistic with this and spreading further propaganda.
Sure. What about it?
I was just curious about like
She just called Jackson Hinkle far right. What an idiot. God, she's an idiot.
yeah, your take on all of that, because I did notice when like trying to find more information about this, like how much of that there is. It seems to be a lot, and it's kind of hard to differentiate sometimes, as well as like a lot of like crypto accounts and stuff like that.
Well, it's
Popping out
not
of
that
this.
hard at all. I basically ignore every single thing that Jackson Hinkle says. He's a literally
Oh, yeah.
avowed
Yeah, I've got it.
propagandist But I also ignore everything that like Blumenthal or everything that comes out of like the gray zone. Also, I would completely. This is like on like Jackson Hinkle. Okay. Also, hold on one second. This is 6 hours ago. Wait, when is this video footage? Hold on.
Also, speaking of news sources, what are like some of the ones that you think are most reliable?
Which news sources are most reliable? I feel like mainstream publications try to hold themselves the most accountable because they'll get the most blowback if they fuck up. And then there are some independent people on Twitter, people that work like in OSINT, like open source intelligence or whatever, that are interesting to follow along. Some people have good track records for it. And then depending on the particular type of conflict you're looking at, there are going to be different types of reporters or scholars who write frequently about it, and they'll have interesting stuff to say about it. But generally, you look for the people that report on it the most or have talked about it for a long history of time and have a good record or a track record of talking about it. Destiny, that Haaretz goes to a Hebrew page. No shot. Blumenthal speaks Hebrew. Is there any way you can get that full article? I'm curious. People are sending me a video of Hamas members ambushing a random civilian car in Israel with RPGs.
All right, I got the
personally don't
Opera
know where this
browser.
is from.
Thanks,
I see that
Cyber.
the camera says October
No problem,
7th
bro.
on the top left. I think that's
I think
the
you're
date,
gonna like
10/7,
it.
right?
All right.
Fucking, it's not written in American. And you see them like walking around with like RPGs and shit. Is this supposed to be in Israel? Is that where this is right now? Am I reading this correctly? Wait, hold on. What? 1 second.
And you can import all the shit from whatever browser you
Oh,
use
actually,
before.
interesting. 1
bookmarks and
second.
shit.
If somebody can find me that original
Yeah, I already did that.
Haaretz article, I would be very curious if you can find it unpaywalled. I would appreciate it if I could read that. I do see a tweet by Haaretz.com. I'm assuming this is the actual publication. It's got almost 500,000 followers on Twitter. Jackson Hinkle made a tweet saying Haaretz investigation exposes all of the Israeli lies from October 7th. It confirms that the number dead is 900, not nearly 2,000. 50% were Israeli soldiers. Most deaths have signs of being dead during tank shelling. No evidence that Hamas burned any Israelis, but burns occurred from Israeli shelling. No beheaded babies. Defiling of Hamas fighters' bodies while Israeli soldiers were taken with respect to morgues. And the number of people Hamas shot is less than 100. Most were settlers with guns on them.
Hey, okay, let's just stop right there. I have no problem with the Israelis defiling the Hamas terrorists' bodies on the day that they went in there and fucking slaughtered a whole bunch of them. Do you guys? You gonna hold that against the Israeli citizens that they urinated on those fucking terrorists? On their bodies? I would have done the same fucking thing. You come into my home with machine guns and kill my neighbors, I'll piss on your body too. Jackson Hinkle, I don't see why that's a point worth mentioning. Huh. Anybody got a problem with that? You guys hold that against Israelis for doing that? Were they supposed to show respect for the terrorists? Let me know. Let me know.
Israel has lied about everything.
We keep it real here, man.
Genocide, share the truth. So that was a Jackson Hinkle tweet. Haaretz quoted that tweet and said, the post seen in this photo contains blatant lies about the atrocities committed by Hamas on October 7th, and it has absolutely no basis in Haaretz reporting then or since on our website. So it sounds like, now I could be wrong, but it reads like Haaretz is saying that they have never reported on that. So if Blumenthal from the Gray Zone is quoting their paper and saying...
Yeah, the Sesha, no, and we're not talking about that right now, so congratulations for fucking posting a goddamn Bible in my chat for something that you're interested in. Way to go, dude.
Saying it was said there, sounds like he's probably
There's two things on the menu today, and fucking your rap song lyrics ain't it.
Also, there's tons of videos that have been linked now in terms of Hamas going into Israel during these incursions with RPGs, even if you don't believe the plans that they said they'd found that had RPGs with them. But I'm sure you can Google and look at any number of videos. Okay, hold on. I've got a link to an article. I can't put this article on screen, guys, so I don't know if there's like dead bodies here. Actually, wait, I don't think there are dead bodies. Okay, hold on. Haaretz, is that it, dude? Sorry, okay. Okay, right click, translate to English.
You're not making any sense at all.
So, okay?
You post a whole bunch of shit. It ain't making any sense at all.
Wait, what is the date on this? Just to make sure.
It ain't my fault that you're not making any sense.
Is there a date on this? October 20th.
It's your fault.
Okay. In the last week, a new and strange routine took shape in the Gaza Strip. The entire area.
This browser must know that I downloaded a competitor and it's acting all good now. It's funny.
Among them are citizens who live in the kibbutzim and volunteers who try to retrieve objects and memorials from the ruins and locate and bring human remains for burial. From time to time, a small convoy passes by on its way to the funeral. In most of the surrounding kibbutzim, the army only allows a handful of attendants to enter the cemetery. We meet Toval Escapa, I think this is the person that Blumenthal cites in his article, and Roy Meisner as they are removing items from a burned-out MMD in Kibbutz Bari. Inside, under the youth's bed in the room, is still the body of the dog of the 6 members of the family that escaped through the window. They hid under a bush outside, and there 4 of them were murdered. The 2 children, the young men, survived when their parents protected them with their...
Dude, I'm claiming that you came in here and talked a bunch of bullshit that nobody gives a fuck about except for you. It doesn't make any sense, and it's factual. What I just said is factual. Nobody cares.
Bodies and managed to escape to the neighbor's house. Escapa and Meisner, I might be butchering these names, sorry, fill a box with toys and clothes that they take out of the room, dolls, plastic dinosaurs, a toy gun, and also the Iranian flag that the murderous terrorists left behind. Then the 2 continue to the home of a missing person from the kibbutz.
Hey, asshole, why don't you get on the same page we're on then, you know? Fucking, you're gonna sit in the class, open the goddamn textbook. Otherwise, go to the fucking principal's office and sit in the fucking corner. You're a douchebag, shut up, okay? Nobody's friends with you, that's why you're on the internet right now, because no one wants to hang out with you in person. Okay, do you understand that, troll bitch? Great.
The members of her family asked for an object from which DNA
no longer going to canvas, everybody cheers.
Items of clothing with a smell, such as perfumes and creams. The house was not burned, but the bloodstains and chaos indicate that it had taken place. Even before the objects reached the family members, they received a message that the mother's body had been identified. Escapa is a caretaker of the garden Noynik, and a member of Barry's standby squad. Luckily for him, on the day of October 7th massacre, he was outside the kibbutz on the occasion of the bachelor party. He and other friends set up a HML to coordinate between the residents and the army forces. The recordings received from the besieged residents reminded him of those released from the Yom Kippur War. Panic shouts of "Where is the army?" And in the background, you hear the clutches and the RPG. His voice broke when he remembered his partner, who was besieged in MMD at the time. According to him, only on Monday night and only after the commanders in the field made difficult decisions, including shelling houses on their occupants in order to eliminate the terrorists without knowing whether the Israelis in those buildings were alive or dead, the IDF-L completed the takeover of the kibbutz. The cost of the Hamas attack was terrible. At least 112 Berry residents were killed. Others were kidnapped. Yesterday, 11 days after the massacre, the bodies of a mother and her son were discovered.
Yeah, and your mom sucked my dick in backstage at a fucking rock show for all you know, motherfucker, right?
In one of
Not
these
joking.
houses. It's believed that more bodies are lying in the rubble still. Since Tuesday, Escapa and the team of the re-established emergency squad, after most of its members died in the battle, have taken on the task of rescuing the objects in the houses. There are normal assignments and there are sensitive assignments, he says. The first type include items such as hearing aids, shoes, clothes, ID cards, and passports, toys, or
Your
pots.
mom was sloppy
The
as
second
fuck.
type includes, for example, a
That's
family
why I
for
kicked her
whom,
to the curb.
okay, these are just items that they got, just want to get a little bit more.
And that's
According to him, we are
why
still
I
missing many pieces of
kicked
the
your
puzzle.
little
My friend said
bitch ass
his two
to the
children.
curb,
He hid them
too.
under the bed and opened the emergency room and
Bye.
stood for them to take care of them. They murdered him, but I wanted to know if they shot him in the face. Did the children hear it? Luckily for me, luckily for them. Probably didn't happen to them. It's a little comforting. Perhaps comforting is not the right word. He adds that there were families who said that there was no chance he would find anything in their homes, but he's still looking. Even small things, even a pot or object of some child, some toy. I was in contact with a classmate of mine whose mother is missing. I found 2 albums. Now she...
Fucking Bitcoin just hit 35,700, guys.
Oh yeah, it did.
Holy shit, man. Money, 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 money. Moving through space and time. God bless America. Wow, it dropped big too. It just dropped $40. Boom! Just like that.
I see the scenes are still bleeding.
God.
You see where they were dragged and where they were shot. Nobody wants to see it. We were in a group of people with a strong soul. I don't think I'm different from anybody else. The other day, let's see. MK Simcha Rothman came to visit the kibbutz. Escapa shouted at him
Simcha.
and almost physically drove him out of the
Not
place. I took
Simcha,
off my
you
sunglasses
idiot.
and said, "Look at me in the eyes. How dare you come here? Fly off. You have blood in your hands. It's on you and your friend." He came to put his hand on my shoulder. I screamed at him, "You have murdered too many people here. I don't remember myself like that. I was sure I'd beat him. Let them not come on a political tour. When they, when were they when they massacred us for 6 hours? He didn't."
You know,
I'm guessing there's like a
a
translation.
lot of people try to store a lot of arrows in their quiver when they go up against Destiny and get personal dirt on him, and they throw it on him as soon as they start debating him. They start dumping what their knowledge is of his personal shit, and it fucking bounces off him like fucking raindrops. It's like he just brushes that shit off. He doesn't give a fuck what you know about him. He puts it all out there. And she came with a whole bunch of information and dirt on him and has just been throwing it at him, and he's been clowning her ever since the whole beginning. Fucking ever since she even came into his Discord, he fucking clowned her from the first second she walked in, and he just completely abused her, bro. And she's been sitting there taking it like a fucking champ. I give her full credit because he's hit her hard, and she's got some points. You know, I agree with her more than him. So this is what makes this kind of interesting for me.
Difficulty. He didn't dare look up at me. Near the entrance of Kibbutz Rhyme, we meet Meyer Beryl and other volunteers from the 360 organization, which recently split from Zaka and deals with disaster relief. The other day, who is this? MK Simcha Rothman.
Simcha.
Who this is. 1 second.
It's Simcha, not Simcha. Destiny, you idiot.
Rothman is part of a coalition, and they are blamed for doing nothing. Is an Israeli lawyer, right-wing activist, and politician.
You can't say cha. It's not cha. It's cha. Wait a taste the soup.
Hearing on his
Wait,
request for
taste the soup.
order against protesters. Gotcha.
Taste the
Okay.
soup.
All right.
What?
Hey, I made her laugh.
Body parts of offense in the field.
That was funny.
From the evidence, according to the investigations, the terrorists fled towards Moshav Patish. Barrett explains, we search in orchards, and rows of cauliflowers. We scan the area, we check on according to him. There are all kinds of signs of the field, smells first indication, possesses color, the ground changes color, maggots, and blah, blah, blah. Yesterday, they found another body, one of the terrorists. He was wearing a shirt belonging to Azad Din al-Qassam, the military wing of Hamas.
how does Destiny have so many followers? Because he fucking rocks. Because he's great at debating. He's hilarious. He gives nothing but straight content on all of his streams. He makes it interesting and fun for everybody. He goes live for hours and hours and shares a lot of his personal shit. You know, his wife lets him bang other women. He talks about that on the show. You get to see the women he bangs come on his fucking show. You know, people love that shit. Dude, the guy's got a huge following, and he's earned every single goddamn follower that he's got. You know, that's why, because he's worked his ass off at podcasting.
But he looked African, Burl said. I was told that they found dozens
No, dude, I'm not like that. How the fuck am I talking about myself? That's fucked up, bro.
of them near Oz. I have a feeling this is part of our falling asleep. There are mercenaries here from Africa who have gathered for this attack. Right now I'm a very high adrenaline rush. I'm very busy. Yesterday I was at a wedding in Bonnie Brank. I understand they were dancing, blah, blah, blah. Robbie's, Lowlands. Okay, let's see this. One of his accomplices has been shown. He was at the party and riot, managed to escape from the terrorists, but returned to rescue the wounded and was killed. The party complex, the evidence of the massacre is becoming more and more blurred.
Johnny's Couch, whatever. You probably came over from his goddamn channel, Johnny. Yeah, you're probably one of the fucking GG people. Wouldn't even be surprised.
The bodies were moved for identification and burial. The burned vehicles were excavated or evacuated.
I'd almost
Here
put
you
money
can
on
see
it.
The soil that has changed.
I'd almost put
color.
money
At the
on
end of
it.
the week, there was still a Yalvo building that was used as cigarettes inside it during the massacre. 5 mobsters hid for 4 hours, wounded and scared to death. Mobsters? I don't think this means like bad people. I think this is like partiers or something. I think it's a translation thing. Wounded and scared to death. At one point, they were robbed by an armed man from Gaza.
Look at his
who demanded
chat.
money. Now he already knows for sure that we are here and we have nowhere to run.
All
In my head, I was
day.
constantly
It's
waiting
going
for him
like
to come
that.
back with more. Friends and prayers to finish the story. I'd already accepted my fate and realized that it would end, that I was going to die, and nothing would matter because I was already dead. Fortunately, the terrorists skipped the room where the group was in.
I'll probably look in his chat and see Johnny's
oh, yeah, this is the
Couch
end here.
scroll by. I love you,
Many days we
Destiny. I love you
spoke,
so much.
Hold on. In the many days we spoke with
Johnny's
survivors
Couch.
and refugees
Here
from
it is.
kibbutzim surrounding
Johnny's Couch. I love you,
Gaza.
Destiny.
Askapa Mabari was the first to talk about rehabilitation and return to the kibbutz. Not at the end of the war, not in months, not now. According to him,
It's
I'm
not
a fanatic
kibbutz,
of the
it's a
kibbutz. I
kibbutz.
love the place, the people, the being.
He's
were
so
hit by a
funny
blow
with
that
his
kind of described when we
pronunciations.
started at a Tuesday, we were in the market, but now there is something in the community that brings people back into the groove. It strengthens the community. It's clear to me that not everything was going on. In the meantime, the kindness of the kibbutz, which has become a military base, did not allow him to return to sleep at home. He discussed my sleep in the room assigned to them. The fears that at night they mistakenly identified as terrorists, but Escapa was determined to
I
return
don't
to his house
debate
and
it. What are you
restore
talking
He
about?
have a license about him.
I don't debate anybody. I'm not here to debate anybody. I don't debate anybody. I'm not here to debate. I just tell people they're wrong and block them. Dude, that's all that's up. That's what I do. I'm not a debater. I'm right. You're wrong. Bye.
Okay.
That's it.
This article does not support anything that was being said in the Jackson Hinkle tweet, and definitely does not support anything being said in the video.
Okay.
It sounds like there's one line in here.
It does sound like it is blurred, though.
No, it
they
doesn't.
Did clarify
No,
that.
it
does
doesn't.
say you read that out loud.
I did read it. There is a line in here where he says that when terrorists were occupying some buildings, that decisions had to be made to like fire on these, not knowing there might have been people inside. But that was a civilian commenting, right, who was talking to IDF people, okay? There's no verification that there were civilians killed by the IDF. There's no other mention of this, of the IDF mass bombing their village. There's no indication here that that statement isn't even treated with severity, right? Like, you realize that in an article like this, that like if a serious claim was being levied that the IDF was killing its own civilians, it probably wouldn't be one throwaway line in this article. Do you understand that? Also, I don't know this, but I could be missing some of the context of that person's statement because I'm translating from Hebrew and I'm using an auto-translator.
Yeah,
However,
for sure.
as somebody that is media literate and as somebody that's read a ton of articles, it would be really strange to me that there is a line in here that the IDF is contributing to a significant amount of civilian death in their own lands, and that would be one throwaway line in this article, and that Haaretz themselves would tweet out saying that no part of Jackson Hinkle's tweet that is claiming what you're claiming is true, or that guy in the TikTok video is claiming true, that they say is false.
I don't necessarily agree with Jackson Hinkle. He's a big red flag for me. So I don't take me sharing what you're
Jackson's
asking me
post,
to
yeah.
share, like with you as like that's what I believe.
Gotcha.
I'm
That's
just
fine.
trying to clear up the narrative for everybody. So yeah, I'm not as biased as you might think I am.
That's fine. I'm not saying you're biased. Well, you are biased. It's mainly a claim about how stupid you're being. Okay? When you came in here, when you came into this conversation, one of your initial questions that you asked towards me almost seems self-evident to you. Wouldn't you talk to people there, or wouldn't you like confer with like a Palestinian or even an Israeli about what happened before doing your own research?
Are you on
Stuff
Adderall
like
right now?
this.
Holy
that question doesn't even
shit!
make sense. Adderall makes me
Whoa, dude! Bam! Oh my god, I can't believe she did that. Holy, she's fucking vicious. She's like a goddamn, she's like a viper, dude. She's like a viper. And she strikes so quick. And she's so potent and painful when she does it. She fucking kicked him right in his balls, man. Right mid-sentence. Look at the smile on her face, bro. Dude.
What did you say? I didn't hear it.
Bro, I think you should hear it for yourself. 5112. Let's go to 5101. Check this out, bro.
talk to people there, or wouldn't you like confer with like a Palestinian or even an Israeli about what happened before doing your own research?
Are you on
Stuff
Adderall right
like
now?
this.
What did you say?
Are you on Adderall right now?
Ah.
Dude.
He's fucking always on
Bro, she just hit him so fucking hard on some... And this is what I'm talking about she's been doing. She's got all this shit on him, and then she unloads it on him while he's trying to fucking make a point or whatever. She's been doing this the whole time. He's been clowning her the whole time. This has been an incredible fucking debate, actually. It's just to hear them going back and forth. It's been crazy. Dude, I fucking hit him with that one all the time. Dude, it's all I ever say about Destiny. I'm like, what's that? What you snorting? Why are you snorting that Adderall? I'm always like that. Bro, let's listen to his reaction.
That question doesn't even make sense. Adderall makes me way more calm than not being on Adderall. So your
I've
question
been on
doesn't
Adderall.
make sense.
I know what Adderall does.
I don't know what drugs you take.
That response don't make sense either, because that was not what she fucking asked you. She asked if you was on it. That's a fucking yes or no question.
Welcome
It's
home,
not
Mom.
why you on it. So, that was a bullshit response, man.
Mom's been gone all day.
Or if you're even prescribed or what you do, I don't care. But I'm just saying your comment didn't make sense, like most of the comments you made tonight. Okay.
I'm
But-
just like you're coming off very intense, and you're making a lot of assumptions, and
I
I
am
see that
coming
you are
off-
very
And you're working your jaw. And it's weird and creepy, and we want to know why you do that.
amplifying,
Yes,
but
I
it's
am
like
amped.
you're not necessarily
Listen.
representing what I'm actually
No,
saying.
hold on.
in
I'm
good
literally
faith.
quoting back at you. First of all, I am amped about this because the more I learn about a situation, usually the more irritated I get about misinformation. Ukraine-Russia was another one of these. This is becoming another one of them for me, okay?
Which is why I'm irritated that you don't know who Gabor Mate is. Because he's a very important voice to listen to.
If he's writing alternative health books on trauma, he probably has fuck all to say about Israel-Palestine. That's
Alternative
just my
health
guess.
books.
That's just my guess, okay?
How many books have you read on Destiny?
However, my autobiography, I reread it every single day and I add a new sentence to it, okay? I can't
Oh,
wait
you're
for
wrong,
the...
sorry.
Yes, I can't wait to write the password today, okay?
Do you need a hug?
So what you're doing right now and what you've engaged in right now is exactly the reason why I don't engage in this type of research.
So-
why I won't find a random video of some guy. I don't even know if this guy's Palestinian or not. Why I won't find a video of some guy
Doesn't matter.
to give me a greatest hits compilation of highlighted quotes from the gray zone to tell me how I should feel about this. This is why I prefer to read several news articles, get acquainted with the history, and then go through reputable accounts on Twitter or first or second hand reports from international media to find out what's true. Because it's already taken me 20 minutes to go through the first claim in this video to see that the claim is basically entirely
Alright,
bullshit.
So
Yeah.
that video is actually not the main focal point of why I want to talk to you right now.
Gotcha. Okay, well, hold on. Instead of
you-
giving like side bullshit, instead of the one guy you cited that you haven't read any books about the conflict or you can't tell me anything you said about the conflict, instead of
He
giving me this
hasn't
random
written books on the conflict, but he recommended them, and you're making assumptions again, Destiny, and we would have a much more productive conversation if you'd actually listen to what I'm trying to tell you.
So don't link me stuff that you don't care about. Okay, I'm not going to assume.
I do care about it, but I actually want to link you something that I care about more. That is actually more of a personal topic for both of us.
Okay. Wait, so we're done talking about Israel-Palestine then, or?
We are talking about that because it all does connect in a way, in my opinion. And that's actually what Gabor Mate talks about. You should really listen to him sometime.
Yeah.
So you said that there's no way that Byron could have been like impacted by things people were saying online.
I said that it seems super not relevant to the entirety of his life.
So could you please play
She keeps bringing up this suicide thing, bro. It's so not cool. And she brought that up at the beginning. And, you know, he's lost a couple friends, and he's made a couple comments that she's trying to hold him to.
Video I just sent you.
I'm not going to play videos of Byron
crying when someone's telling him to kill himself, and he's trying to reason with...
Who killed himself?
A couple of podcasters that Destiny knew. Friends.
Oh, okay.
Them and say, hey, I'm a human on the other end of this. You don't think that's relevant to people committing suicide online and you so regularly telling people to kill themselves?
Nope, I don't. I really don't.
Which then normalizes that behavior for your entire audience, some of which are underage.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you don't think the video of Reckful crying, saying, hey, please stop telling me to kill myself. Like, why are you doing that? That really hurts me. You think that because you're not sensitive, that other people who are sensitive should just, like, fuck off?
If you're sensitive... Listen, if you're sensitive, you probably shouldn't be doing...
Did you consider Byron a friend of yours?
I did. That's why I know him better than you ever have, and at this point, ever will, unless you find a way to travel back to the past, which was really fucking strange that you're trying to talk to me. Although I understand it's really common that cluster B people think that they're ultimately empaths that can read everybody else's emotions, even the dead. Okay, somehow you're able to do that, okay?
Have you seen this clip before?
Yes, I have. I'm familiar with the issues that Byron had with online communities. Byron's mental health issues, him taking 2 grams of mushrooms a day for months, okay? Him cycling through all sorts of crazy treatments to figure out how to treat his shit. I don't think it had to do as much with online bullying. I think that he had severe mental issues.
You don't think it had any impact, so you don't want to play the video? You don't think it's relevant?
I'm not going to sit here and have you play weird videos about people that you don't know and don't give a f*** about towards me when this person's my friend and kill himself.
I definitely give a fuck.
You don't give a fuck. He's a tool. Listen, somebody literally just linked this to you in your chat. I'm watching your chat. I see it happen.
No, I've seen it.
No, you're not. Somebody literally linked it in your chat.
I've
linked it to me.
watched this video before with my partner who worked for Reckful, actually.
That's great. Worked for Reckful? What, did he edit a thumbnail for him?
Something that mattered a lot to
Okay, that's great. All right, listen, that's fine. I don't need your perspective on my friend's suicide, okay? I'm good on that. I'm super chill on it.
And I don't think you telling people to kill themselves is good for the rest of society, and I do think it impacted Reckful, and I do think that the way we treat each other online actually matters.
Mm-hmm. Maybe, Gabor Mate's son hosts a show for the Grey Zone. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Listen, if you wanted to come
kind of a shitty fucking remark. He was good with his friend's suicide. He's okay with it. He had peace with it. Jesus fucking Christ. When you think about it.
That's not going to people? I'd probably agree with you. Yeah, probably not. It's probably me getting a little bit too amped up. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. I don't know why you feel like you need to dig in.
You did disagree with that, actually. You did disagree with that. The thing is, Destiny, you always tell people how willing you are to listen to criticism.
Not only did I not disagree with it, I'm pretty sure that if we go back in this conversation, I think I explicitly said to you, yeah, I probably shouldn't tell people to kill themselves.
No, you explicitly said people like Hassan should kill themselves because they're doing harm to society.
I said that the world would probably be better off if these people disappeared forever from the internet. I think that was the phrase that I used.
That's not what you said, and you can go back and you can listen to the words
you can go back, cut it up for your YouTube channel, okay?
No, I'm good. I don't need to do that. That's the thing. I don't feel the need to put other people down for content.
Well, really? You don't think you were putting me down in this conversation for content?
Do you feel put down? Am I hurting
Obviously,
your
you're putting me down. You're not hurting my feelings.
How
you
am
can't
I
hurt my
putting you down?
feelings.
I'm letting you know that something that you're doing contributes to like overall society, and it affects people, and it does harm people, whether or not you're willing to face that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you making weird references about how involved I was with my son or my son's mom's pregnancy?
I didn't say anything about your son. Oh, okay, yeah. I made that assumption because you did admit to that on stream before, and you like have gone on.
Wait, what did I admit to on stream? What did I admit to on stream?
How toxic your guys' relationship was, and it's okay. It's but like when you're saying how like somebody who was in the Holocaust at 5 months old can't remember that or that can't affect them.
Yeah,
that's
because
a really
you typically don't start forming memories until you're about 2 years old. That's typically how the human brain works. Maybe some people remember what life was like at 4 months. Maybe that's what it feels like to you, since mentally that's where your maturity's at. But for most people, it's about 2 years old, I think, is when we start having actual long-term memories that we can recall later in life.
Are you a psychology expert, a childhood development expert, Destiny?
Maybe it's 1 year. Let's look. When do you start, or what will we look for? When is the average person's earliest memory? Psychologists have debated the age of adults' earliest memories. Most modern data suggests somewhere between the ages of 2 and 4 on average. So it sounds like I was giving you even the benefit of the doubt. It's probably a little bit later. Although
So
this
say
link
if a
down here,
baby
it
at
turns out
5
the earliest
months
memory
old
forward
were
a
pulled
year
out
to
of
about
the
3.5 years
Okay.
old. Okay, so this one goes to as early as a year, possibly.
I
so-
think if a baby were pulled out of the rubble from a bomb
Mhm.
at 5 months old, whether or not they can cognitively remember that still would impact them in some type of way.
I mean, health-wise, sure. If you get injured or something, it could. I don't know the answer to whether or not babies can have traumas, like emotional traumas, before 1, 2, 3, 4 years old. I'm sure they probably can. I would imagine they could. Like I know physically they almost absolutely can. I'm sure if you're in an environment where people are screaming at you a lot, you probably could. But having like the macro wherewithal to recognize that you're in a Holocaust, I don't know if a baby could recognize that. I'm not sure about that.
Okay, so perhaps then, like, they leave that.
It
Their
led to
parents and
this.
everybody around them
It
wasn't
started
able to
out
experience
really
that,
good.
and they were raised under that
It's
lens
been
of
really, the
reality.
whole beginning
so that
was
still
great.
impacts them, whether
Absolutely.
They were
I'm sure
both
it would.
making
Yeah, of
really good
course.
points.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
So
That's
yeah,
true.
what I'm saying is there's no reason to then devalidate and devalue what that person who you've never listened to before is saying because he was only 5 months old when he experienced the Holocaust.
Why would I devalue what he's saying because he was only 5 months
That's
old?
what you did when I brought him up.
Because
That's
you
what-
brought
that
him
you-
up
you
as
brought up-
because you brought him up, and part of the expertise you cited was Holocaust survivor. And
Yeah.
calling a
Well,
5-month-old
some of
Holocaust survivor
his
is kind of a
background,
little bit.
I wasn't citing that as expertise. I was citing who he was and the background he had and why I think he's relevant to this conversation.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
he
but-
was a Holocaust survivor.
Yeah, he
so
was a Holocaust survivor, but when you say that, you get the impression that that is someone who bore witness to the horrors of the Holocaust, which he did not. So, that term is getting, I think, used for the advantage of her viewpoint here.
Therefore, he became a Zionist,
Sure.
and which is, the opposition to the people of Palestine. They hate the Zionists, not necessarily
There's
the Jews, but the people who
13
are actively
or 14
taking
A lot of them
land
hate
and
the Jews too.
settling
A lot of them
upon
hate
it.
the Jews too.
Yeah, a
But,
lot of them, but I would not say the majority of them. I would say the majority of people who preach hate towards somebody in that situation, it's the settlers, the people who are taking their homes, who are creating legislation to push them out, to make them disappear.
Gotcha. Pretty sure the
there's a
majority
very
of
important distinction between
Palestinians
those
right
things.
now are in favor of the elimination of the country of Israel. Now, what that entails for the Jewish people there, I'm not sure, but I think the most recent polling data shows that the majority of Palestinians are in favor of eliminating the country of Israel completely.
That's pretty bad.
That looks bad.
She's got no response to that.
Are you in favor of eliminating Palestinians from the country of Israel?
Palestinians from the country of Israel? No.
Yeah. No. So
Pretty sure
what
they
do you
live
think
in
is
Israel,
with all the research you've done, since you're so, well read on this topic, what do you think the solution would maybe be in a situation like this?
There has to be some sort of probably two-state solution with the United States mediating, where every other Arab country comes to the table and agrees with
Why
Israel.
would the United States mediate? Question.
Because Israel can't be the only person on their side of that conversation.
What?
And it probably needs
Why
some sort
not?
of...
Why not some other country other than the U.S.? Why?
'Cause who else is gonna mediate
That's my
that?
thing with the 2006 election as well. Is
Hold on,
that
wait, I'm
why
sorry,
is
wait,
the
wait.
U.S.
Who else-
meddling so
who else-
deeply into these affairs?
What? Because the U.S. saved the world in World War II and became the de facto head of NATO, like the most arguably important military alliance that existed in all the history of the world, and has been essentially like the leader of the free world in terms of ensuring like territorial integrity, and sometimes doing fucked up shit in other countries in the world. That's why. Whether it's fair or not, I don't know, but that's the history. Yes. So who else would take point on figuring? And also, because no offense, but based on the very limited understanding,
Hey,
of history,
no offense.
Britain sucks at doing foreign affairs. Okay.
I feel like that would just feel like further occupation for the Palestinians who are already probably being pushed to more extremist viewpoints on this situation.
So it seems
Because
so.
the U.S. has directly meddled in to the conflict becoming what it is today.
Okay, so if not the U.S. taking point on those negotiations, who should?
Probably not like Britain. Honestly, I don't think any like Western,
Who
like,
should?
European.
What
should?
is she
majority
wearing? I
white
just
ruled
realized
country
she's
would
wearing
go
like
over
a
well with
I don't know
costume.
what race has
at
to do with
this
this, but tell me who should then?
Spider Woman?
Not Netanyahu, not Biden.
Yeah,
I don't think
that
that's
is
gonna.
kind
So
of
you
a
have no
costume.
answers?
Anyone involved with
Okay,
that.
so very convenient then that no Western leader can take place.
But
Tell
why
me
do
who
you
then?
think it should be the Western? Why do you think it should
I
be
don't know
the
what
U.S.?
that means.
Because
Is
Israel
that
needs
cute?
somebody-
Maybe
U.S.
it's
is a
cute,
great.
Oh, I'm
or
sorry, I
I
thought
don't
you
know.
wanted me to answer the
We're so
question.
popular.
Because Israel probably feels like they want somebody on their side that can advocate for their security interests, and the United States would obviously be willing to do that. But if you think not the U.S., then give me another country. I'll wait. Tell me a country.
So do you think that the U.S. or Israel would be okay if, say, like, instead of the U.S. being the one, maybe it's like, I don't know, Iraq or Iran or Egypt or someone else? I think they would be maybe like, oh no, we don't like this. We want the people
Correct.
who are on
That's
our
correct.
side to be the mediators.
Iraq and Iran and Egypt probably wouldn't be good people to be intermediaries for this agreement because all three of those countries have gone to war trying to eliminate Israel at least 4 times. So, no, it probably wouldn't be good if they took point of those negotiations. Israel rightfully probably wouldn't be comfortable with them taking point of those negotiations. Apparently, the Holocaust survivor guy that you listened to talk to about this issue so much neglected to mention that. So, no, those 3 countries especially would be the worst.
The thing is, Destiny, there
Yeah.
are clearly things that you are uninformed about.
I understand.
People have told
Tell
you
me. Yes, tell me. What am I
yes,
on?
people
So
have
give me
told
a
you
country.
on
Give me
that
one
repeatedly.
country. Give me a
So
country
if
then.
you want
Give me
to
a
be more
country.
informed on this, if you want to be more informed on this, I suggest you yell at people less and inform yourself more. Listen to what Gabor Mate has to say. Listen to other people who are more
literally-
directly involved in
yes,
this than
I
you and
what
the
do
people in your Discord.
Yes, for the
He sounded like he made a lot more progress there than she did, and all she did was scold him for knowing more than she knows.
past fucking 4 days, all I've been doing nonstop is reading about this. That's all I've been
But
doing.
you told me that you didn't want to directly talk to people who are involved in the conflict. I honestly think maybe it's time you start doing that.
How about I get current on the history? Then once I feel like I've got a good skeleton to the history, then I'll probably start talking to people that
Why
are
not
involved
both
in
at
it.
the same time?
Because I don't want a biased retelling of what's happening in the region.
It seems like you're
by a
already
person-
biased whether you like it or not.
I'm sorry, but if history is biasing me against the Palestinians, that's their fault, not mine, okay? I'm just trying to do the driest freedom of history possible. I haven't had any of the 50 billion Jewish or Israeli or IDF people come onto my stream and talk to me, despite tons of them emailing me I want to, and I've said as much to people in my chat. I don't want Israelis coming on my fucking Discord.
I would say this, Destiny, is it complex? Is the history complex? And he would say, yes, it is. I say, you've looked into it, you see that there's a lot of history there and there's a lot of complexity there, right? Yes. Would you also say that it might be difficult to decide who the land belongs to because of the complexities, the history, the religion involved, Jerusalem, all of that? Would you call that a conundrum, for someone? He would say, yes. And then I would say to him, exactly. So forget about the entire history of it. Forget about how it all got here. Just look at it today and let's work to try to get this violence to stop. Instead of trying to go back through the history so that you can, be the person who sits there and says, I know that this happened on that day and was declared and blah, blah, blah. How about this? You guys killed this many people. You guys killed that many people. How about you guys kill 0 people? You guys kill 0 people. Let's start with that. That's it. It's that simple. It's like he's making this way more complex than it should be. And that's the problem with everybody right now. Everybody wants to get into the history and blah, blah, study and, listen to what so-and-so said and read this article and blah, blah, blah. Listen to what this person said and that person said, blah, blah, blah. No. It's like, let's look at what everybody's doing right now. There's bad on both sides. It all needs to stop. It needs to be called out by the people on those sides. The bad people that are doing that bad stuff, they need to be called out. On both sides. On both sides. Yeah. In other words, Hamas needs to be called out. Netanyahu and the IDF need to be called out. Yeah. That needs to fucking happen. Quit making it so complex. Quit trying to worry so much about trying to learn the history of it. Just look at what's going on today, understand that needs to stop, and try to get these people to talk to each other instead of fighting and arguing over the history of it. You know?
To tell me what they think about the conflict. I don't care. All I'm doing is reading through literally fucking Wikipedia to get up to date on the history of the region. That's all I'm doing. I'm not going to have people trying to bias me one way or another.
Anything other than Wikipedia? Are there any books you're reading right now on it?
If I feel like I need to flesh out my information more on this particular topic, then I might pick up a book on it if I need to. I don't know if I need to right now. Right now,
fucking biased. You are not allowed to post anything on Wikipedia without it getting fucking checked and approved. So Wikipedia is not always the greatest source for fucking getting the truth. Just saying. It's better than it used to be because everyone cannot post on it now, but there are some things on Wikipedia that are straight out wrong.
99% of the people that tell you to pick up a book and read
right.
about this haven't actually. Like you haven't read a single thing on this.
No, that's
you
not
don't
true.
know anything.
I'm actually reading on it right
Kat,
now,
I'm
and
telling you,
I've
listen
been
to me.
reading on it,
Kat,
which is actually
Kat,
why Gabor Mate
Kat.
stuck out to me so much. Is because once I
Really?
started hearing about the Palestinian conflict years ago, what he had to say actually reigned very like he feels like the most authentic voice I've actually listened to
Listen,
about
that's
this. Who's
great.
Not trying to spread
That's
propaganda.
really good. If you want me to recommend you some good
So
historians on this,
he recommends you some
stop.
really good
If
books
you want
that
me
you
to
should probably
recommend
check
you
out.
some good historians on this, I can. Because believe it or not, there's actually a whole new era. They're called the New Israeli historians who actually do write about this type of stuff and have critically challenged older Zionist
New
narratives.
Israeli
That-
historians.
yes.
Okay, so anyone other than the Israeli perspective.
You don't
Have you
even
read
know what you're
anything other than
talking
that?
about. You're so stupid. You're so clueless. You have no idea what you're talking about. This is like whatever historian you brought up. I've never even heard them reference in regards to maybe they do write
They're not a
authoritatively.
historian.
Then why would I give a fuck about what they have to
So
say?
you only
on
give a
this?
fuck about people if they're historians?
When we're writing about history? Yeah, I'm trying to listen to historians. What do you mean?
So I can
What
judge
about
people
people
of
who have
today.
lived through history?
Those-
I
No.
think they're-
Let me ask you this: were the people of today there back then in history? Anybody that's alive today? Were any of the people alive today back then? Were they alive? Oh no, that's right, they weren't. So stop making everyone responsible for what everyone in the past has done, and let's make everyone get along. You guys doing what you're doing right here, fighting, is a perfect example of why there is fighting in the Middle East. This is it right here. This is the problem. You got two opposing sides. They think they know what's right. They're looking for the answer from looking at history, when what they need to be doing is reaching across that fucking table and shaking each other's hands and learning how to get along and live next to each other and live in the same neighborhoods as each other and appreciate. You know what? When I grew up, listen, man, I grew up with a Jewish family, and on my left side, I had a family, they were Christian, and on my right side, I had another family, they were Christian, and we were Jewish, right? We were in a neighborhood. We all lived in the same neighborhood together. All the kids played together. We all rode the same school bus. We all played together at the school bus stop together. We all hung out and played video games with each other's at each other's houses. We didn't care about what religion we were. We figured this out in America. We can do this. You know, we need to set an example for Israel, who can't seem to figure that out. You know, and when you got some terrorist doing something or someone blowing up people or whatever, well, okay, you've got somebody blew some people up and they're dead now, right? Okay, well, fucking hopefully somebody won't do that again. You know, but you gotta, you know, we have that here too. We have mass shooters, man. They kill like 40, 50 people at a time, man. So understand, we understand what that's like, but we don't go and find out what religion that guy was and then go exterminate a whole bunch, 10,000 fucking people and 5,000 of them kids, because one person did some stupid shit. And that's what the fuck, you got to address the criminals, man, and the crimes and quit going after all. It's too late, man. You've already ruined it. It's all spoiled and disgusting. Whatever.
You want to smoke?
I'm good, bro. You go ahead.
I will.
Cheers, Cyber.
Cheers, bro. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.
Was that a new debate?
6 days old. So yes, it's regarding this, the Palestine
No.
Israel thing. And at the beginning here, listen to her come in. Listen to what he says to her when she comes in. It's it's fucking hilarious because they were already interacting. They were already interacting with each other on Twitter or whatever.
Those liberal or
he
whatever.
knew-
Like
he
I was
knew who
making
she
jokes about
was.
brokering a peace treaty between like you and Mike and the serfs and now my position is just, especially after Ukraine and now especially after this conflict as well, is
I hope they themselves. Yes, I agree, 100%.
Hello.
Hi, what's up?
What's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Okay, what do you want?
What do I want?
What do you want?
Yep.
Did you say what do you want?
Okay,
What do you-
well, this has evolved a lot
Because what do you want?
Ah, okay.
since watching your stream and I first messaged you. I guess my first question is going to be, do you really think Hassan and Mike from PA should kill themselves?
I wish they would.
And it gets better from there. Way better.
Yes.
Do you think that's at all a harmful statement to make that goes against, I don't know, just
Hey,
objective
Nick.
morality?
Hey, Nick.
No, I think their deaths by suicide would make the world
Yeah.
a safer place for more people.
But you disagree with Hassan when he said that America deserved 9/11, correct?
Yes, correct.
But wait, I'm confused because that seems like one of those statements has to be hypocritical then.
Oh, do you think if a guy murders 25 people, and then he's sentenced to death, do you think it's okay to say, I hope that person dies?
I don't think that's the same situation.
I didn't say it was the same situation. If it was the same situation, I would have repeated back exactly what you said back to you. But I didn't do that. I asked you a different question. If a man kills 25 people and he's sentenced to death, do you think it's okay to say, I wish that person would die?
Has Hassan or Mike killed 25 people?
I don't believe so. That's why I said a guy, because it's a hypothetical, not involving a real person. It doesn't involve Mike nor Hassan.
But shouldn't hypotheticals be more like congruent or at least like somewhat similar to the original situation that you're trying to compare them to?
Generally, I agree they should, but I haven't finished my hypothetical because you haven't even
Okay, go
engaged
ahead.
with the first part of it. So I'm asking you, do you think it's
I-
okay to say a
The
person...
first part of the hypothetical feels
If
manipulative.
you don't know
so
there's two
I'm
parts, how the
clarifying.
fuck do you want her to fucking respond then? I
Because
mean, that was kind of a little bullshit there.
she's being difficult, bro. She's being very difficult.
How am I manipulating you, or how is it manipulative to ask you? If it's
Because I'm
okay to-
asking you about how you feel about you thinking that Hassan or Mike should kill themselves, and you're talking to me about some random guy who's killed 25 people, and I'm wondering if either Mike or Hassan have killed 25 people, because then I might change my opinion of them even further.
They haven't. What I'm trying to get at is you claim that there's a hypocrisy between saying that somebody like Hassan or Mike should be removed completely from media or this planet, okay? Maybe via suicide. You're trying to say that if I have that feeling, I must also feel like the 9/11 attacks were fully justified. What I'm about to do is I'm about to make a comparison between saying you can say one person is bad and probably shouldn't exist, and say another group of people don't necessarily have that same badness and shouldn't exist. I'm about to draw a comparison between those two things. Because saying that civilians deserve to be terror attacked when those civilians didn't take a particular action to warrant said retaliation, that's a much different statement than saying somebody that engages in harmful propaganda that is arguably leading to like the destruction of like the fucking world order that is contributing to that kind of stuff. I would say these are two completely different scenarios. So I was going to draw a comparison to show you how absurd those two comparisons were to Hassan's statement and my statement. But also, you could also just think that both are bad. That's fine. But I think we can both agree that they're different. Killing civilians in forms of terrorist attacks are a lot different than saying certain types of propagandists shouldn't exist on the internet.
So, okay, I have a follow-up question then, making another hypothetical. Hypothetically,
I just want to let
if
the
someone...
record show real quick, okay? Because I will engage you in good faith because I have the brain horsepower to do it. You completely were incapable of engaging with my hypothesis or even grasping the point
I
of
was
my hypothesis.
comparing
And we didn't-
two
no. I'm just saying, hold on.
situations that actually happened, though.
That's fine. I know situations that actually happened are called examples. My thing was called a hypothetical because it had not happened. That's what a hypothetical is. I'm just putting a pin in the map to let people understand that you are incapable of either understanding or engaging with it. And now we can move on to the next part. That's fine, but I just want to make sure that that's understood. Go ahead.
Okay. So,
this is okay.
hypothetically, if some streamers started saying because you were spreading propaganda that you should therefore kill yourself, how would that make you feel?
How would that make you feel?
Not only would I not give a fuck, because I don't care if people say shit, they've
You're pretty
engaged...
desensitized to it by now, huh?
No. They've engaged in worse by saying that people like me should be killed. So it's already on a whole
You have
different
record
level.
of them saying that?
Do I have records of people who are driven by these content creators? One, saying where people
But
are
them
literally...
saying that versus people driven by them, I think, are different things, correct?
Them saying it exactly that somebody should be killed? No, but them making arguments that fascists are not to be tolerated, that violence is acceptable to remove fascists from these countries, and that I am a fascist. These are arguments that, yes, they've
Aren't you
explicitly made.
becoming just as
Or-
bad for saying that they should kill themselves, though?
No, I think giving somebody the agency to delete themselves is a lot different than encouraging somebody to kill somebody.
Haven't you had friends kill themselves, Destiny?
Yep.
Do you think that they should have killed themselves?
Not necessarily, no.
Why do you think they killed themselves? If you had to guess.
Well, one got caught dealing drugs and felt like his life was over, and the other one probably had major depressive disorder that was untreated for a long time.
Do you think the war on drugs is bad? I'm just asking you questions just to gauge your opinion on things.
Generally, I would say...
Chat.
Yeah, I would say the war on drugs is bad, yeah.
His friend killed himself over it.
Do you think at all, like, the climate of the internet has to do with, like, maybe people making extremist takes that could lead to you saying they're being, like, spreading propaganda, they should kill themselves, or even leading up to them actually killing themselves?
No. I think that the
Do you
issue...
think that the internet climate has nothing to do with any of that?
No, I think that one of the big follies that we've made is the hyper obsession with bad words, with racial slurs and mean language, and a total abdication of the actual analysis of the semantic content of what people say. And this obsession with thinking that somebody is good because they don't say slurs, and therefore they're like unimpeachable, and everything they say, I think that has been the greatest folly over the past 10 years. Way more than a bunch of dipshits on 4chan telling people to kill themselves or spamming the N-word. Absolutely. Not even close.
Do you have any evidence to compare those two things, like which has done more damage to society?
Do I have any
Because
evidence
I
to
also
compare?
agree that cancel culture has kind of gone to like extremes. Like, there's a lot we probably agree on with that, but I do think it's not better. It's just kind of swinging the pendulum to reinforce statements like this person should kill themselves because they have a bad ideology.
I don't think anybody's killing themselves because somebody on the internet tells them to kill themselves or because they have a bad ideology.
Okay, sorry, anecdotal, but I attempted to kill myself at 15 because of cyberbullying. So
No offense,
anecdotal.
but if you tried to kill yourself at 15 because of cyberbullying, there was a whole bunch else going on in your life that was probably driving you to that than cyberbullies.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
like getting groomed at 13 from YouTube. Yeah, that absolutely contributed. Yeah,
Okay,
like
so it was
the war on
probably the
drugs
groom.
doing,
It was probably the grooming activity when you were 13, more so than
yeah, the
randos
grooming
online
and the
telling
war
you
on
to kill
drugs
yourself.
doing trauma to my
That's
family.
fine,
I think
sure.
it all impacts each other.
That's great, but I'm just saying that for you to
Also,
blame it on
the
randoms
religious
online, there's
propaganda
probably a
that
whole
some of
bunch
which
of
you're
other shit.
spreading.
What I'm saying is you might have attempted to kill yourself at 15, even if the internet didn't exist, assuming you were still groomed. And I'm saying that to blame it on like cyberbullying, probably not going to be the case.
But I think all of these things, like you're doing research on these wars, right? All of these things kind of can contribute and connect in
Cheers,
some ways.
Scupper.
Sure, they could. Sure.
Trauma dumping because losing, not exactly. I'm trying to make a point with this conversation that maybe when we disagree with someone, telling them to kill themselves or calling them a slur, maybe that's, I don't know, not going to improve the world, or and maybe that person in that high school debate is a little bit more right than you are, Destiny. Maybe the point of a debate is actually to try and bring people together and talk about things that are important to us rather than to tear each other down.
Well, then why the fuck
Most of these people on the left
did your hypocritical little ass bring a whole bunch of personal ammunition to dump on Destiny, you little hypocrite? Can you believe she just said that? What nerve? Yeah, you know, I think the purpose of these debates is to bring people together, not tear each other down. But didn't you cheat on your wife, and did you have problems while she was pregnant with your child? And don't you know that do you know that your friends killed themselves? And dude, this I mean, if you guys can't see the value of Destiny dealing with this the way he is, I give him a lot of credit. She's got some nerve. That was 9 minutes in that she said that.
Or above and beyond debating.
9:30.
They don't do it anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter, huh?
Most of these people on the left, I mean, it seems like you're just creating this like huge division that prevents some of the people who might be softer and more sensitive to not want to contribute to these things, even though they have really good opinions and they can contribute to the world. But you being so harsh and telling people to kill themselves so flamboyantly, because it's not just Hassan. I've heard you say it to many people. You've said that you want Lav to kill themselves. So it's like,
Lav is not somebody I'm looking to engage in debate. This is a different
I
type
bet you
of
have
person.
talked about how smart she is. She's one of the smartest people that have been
She
on
is
your
intelligent.
streams,
Yeah, I'm sure Hitler was smart too. I'm glad he killed himself. Well, I mean, what's the point of bringing this up?
What is that comparison? Okay.
Hold on. Wait. Do you truly have an incapability of like understanding a comparison? Do you not understand that at all?
I do, but are you
just
saying
tried.
Lav's
You
Hitler?
just said. No, I didn't say Lav was Hitler.
You seem like you like comparisons a lot.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm
Like
starting to
Lav's
realize.
Hitler. Where does that come from?
Because you made a comment that made it seem like it.
I'm good. I'm gonna go, guys. I love you all. Hope you had fun tonight, and I will see you either tonight or tomorrow on the next show. I don't know when that's gonna be. Where's my Rumble at? My okay, there's a kick. I don't know where the Rumble is. There it is. Right? Close. Okay. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. Take care. And Bitcoin's now at 35.6. Remember, we were purchasing, I was looking at it, was at 34,666. So $1,000 up from where I was purchasing that.
666.
I was also got at 34.9.
Yeah.
But, all right. Bye, guys.
Bye.